Triple H, TKO, Nick Khan, have you guys lost your mind? This company, it's no longer about the fans. Hello, everyone. My name is Jimmy, and this is the Wrestle Dream Project. Today, we are bringing you your SmackDown review and recap live from Dublin, Ireland. Before we get to that, I got a small little rant to share with you. This company, it's no longer about the fans. Affordable tickets to take the whole family, gone. Great storylines, gone. Great larger than life characters, yeah, gone. Everything has just been corporatized. Everything has just been for the stockholders. Everything has just been, how much money can we just siphon from our fans? Because guys, the end is here. WWE announced, as you all may know, WWE announced that Peacock will be showing or airing the last PLE for the WWE, that being Clash in Paris. And supposedly, well, I guess, no, it's actually real. That is the last PLE to be aired on Peacock. And it's been a great run. Peacock was such a great app, not only with the content you get, apart from wrestling, but the PLEs on top in general. It was just amazing, and it was an affordable price. But now, WWE wants to screw you over. Well, not screw per se, but try to squeeze out as much money as they can from you. Apparently now, the WWE PLE rights will be going to ESPN, and ESPN has this new app that's like a direct to ESPN thing where you get all the ESPN content, right? And in there, you're going to be able to now watch the PLEs for the reasonable price of $30 a month or $29.99 per se. And guys, I don't know about you, but $30 a month for some mid wrestling, some mid storylines, some mid 5-match cards. Yeah, sorry, Charlie, that's not for me. That's not for me. At that point, I'd rather just pay $50 for an AEW pay-per-view, because at least I know what I'm gonna get is some heat and bangers. But with these WWE cards, yeah, it's just not it. It's not it. And right after Clash in Paris next week, I'm canceling my Peacock. It's been a great run. I've had Peacock for the past 2 years or so, and it's been great. But now it's over. It was a great run, but it's time to cut it. It is time to cut it. And what's terrible is that, like, if you don't care about any other sports, like if you don't care about soccer, football, hockey, or like anything else per se, like I'm not down in anyone that likes those kind of things, you know. Everyone has their own enjoyments, their own likes. But if you just care about pro wrestling and you're forced to pay $30 a month for all that extra content just so you can watch some PLEs, some below average PLEs, yeah, guys, TKO, WWE, Triple H, yeah, these guys are just, they just stopped caring at all. The product's bad, things are going up, and not to mention the counter programming. What is going on? Like, they're gonna be digging up an old ECW pay-per-view called WrestlePalooza, and they're gonna be reusing it in hopes to counter program AEW on the 20th of September. On the 20th of September, AEW is gonna be hosting the All Out in Canada. And WWE, for some reason, just like to counter program. At times, I used to think they didn't think of AEW as competition, but now Triple H is feeling the heat. AEW is bringing the game, bringing the pain. Here comes the pain. But yeah, so they're going to counter program them with WrestlePalooza. And on WrestlePalooza, this is supposed to be John Cena's last match with Brock Lesnar. We're supposed to get Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre, I guess, and then Seth Rollins is supposed to defend his World Heavyweight title if he's still champion by then, but he probably is. His writing and booking has been predictable, so I'm pretty sure he still will be. But anyway, the point is they're counter-programming AEW on this day. And the worst part about it is, well, not only that Indianapolis gets another major PLE, they didn't just get Royal Rumble not too long ago. Now they get freaking WrestlePalooza. They're charging about $7,000 to $8,000. I think it was $7,000. I don't remember from the picture. I'll pull up the picture, but they were charging basically a down payment on a car or a down payment on something that's way beneficial than a night out for a wrestling event. That's insane. That's insane. For one night of mid wrestling, $7,000. Triple H, TKO, Nick Khan. Have you guys lost your mind? Triple H, TKO, Nick Khan. You guys have been putting together these PLEs with 5 matches. Not to mention, in between them, you've been shoving so many ads in our faces. Like, how many times do I need to see a Slim Jim ad? How many times do I need to see a Minute Maid lemonade ad? How many times do I have to see ads for food products? Like, it's insane. Like, do I really need like 5 or 20 Wingstop commercials in my face? This is freaking insane. I don't know, man. I don't know what this company's become. It just seems like, and I've heard it before. I didn't want to believe it, but somebody mentioned that it was all going downhill after the premiere on Netflix. Their premiere on Netflix, it was all going downhill, and I believe it. I believe it. It's all going downhill. The ticket prices, 5 match mid PLEs, horrible, uninteresting storylines. Some few bright spots then and there, you know. There's some few bright spots that make me want to come back and keep tuning in, but I don't know what's going on anymore. It's pretty bad. The crazy thing is, so I recently just bought tickets to go to Full Gear in New Jersey in around November with my fiance. And those tickets, I got really good seats. Those tickets were only about $140, $150 for 2 tickets. One ticket for WrestlePalooza is about $7,000 to $8,000. And I only get like 5 freaking matches. Well, I guess the selling point is John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, but that's about one match. And yeah, I guess Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre and all that whatnot, but sometimes it gets a little tiring when you're just using the same stars over and over, same storylines, same rivals for Cody, like nothing new, you know? But I don't know. I digress. But the price point is just different, and the value you get for the product is just so much better. I gotta say one last thing. Shout out Tony Khan. Tony is really a man for the fans. Like he's a man of the people for sure. Making shows affordable, trying to make sure you get as many people like in the arena, in the stadium, wherever you're having these shows. God knows, this man knows that you need the fans to come in, buy tickets, and watch the product, because you gotta understand, they gotta understand, WWE has to understand, they are nothing without the fans. Without us paying our hard-earned money to go to these shows, buying merch, buying all this horrible stuff they advertise. Without that, they're nothing. They're just a soulless billion-dollar corporation. But anyway, I digress. Curious to see how this WrestlePalooza turns out. Definitely will not be attending. Definitely will not be throwing down $7,000, $8,000 or selling a kidney to try to attend. Glad I had the privilege and honor to get to see John Cena at SummerSlam. That was great. I think this is where it ends for me. Seeing John Cena live. I think the rest of the farewell tour, I will be at home enjoying it and taking it all in. Anyway, let's get to this review and let's get to this recap, guys. We need to start putting pressure on Triple H. Because when he feels he's under pressure and he's getting scrutinized by the IWC and real life fans, he actually starts doing a good job. This week's SmackDown was a bit better than the previous week. Last week I didn't even bother watching it. Like, I just couldn't do it. I went to go touch grass or do something else because this was just not it. But this week was a bit intriguing. Had a nice start time, 3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time. Yeah, so we kicked things off with the man, Becky Lynch, coming out to address her home crowd, the people of Dublin, Ireland. You know, it seemed like Bex was, you know, trying to, like, pander, you know, hype people up, like, yeah, we're in Ireland, you know. The man has returned to Ireland, you know. And so I remember, yeah, Bex is a heel. So she starts drawing some heat, telling everyone, like, yeah, you don't deserve me and whatnot. Starts calling out Bono and other famous Irish celebrities. Yeah, you know, your basic heel stuff. Get some heat. It's interesting. Tiffany Stratton comes in. You know, she plays the face part, you know, trying to, you know, bring up the crowd, telling Becky, like, what are you doing? This is my show. You know, you can leave or I'll make you leave, you know, whatnot. Nia Jax comes in, and then Nia Jax attacks Tiffany Stratton. Becky Lynch hops in. We get 2-on-1 heels taking down the babyface. Then out of nowhere, Jade Cargill comes. She makes the save. Then what do you know? Nick Aldis comes, and we got our main event, a tag team match for the main event. That was a little bit of a downer. Was hoping for something a little more, I don't know, a little more exciting. But I guess it had to happen. You know, you had to get Bex on the main event. You know, it's Ireland. I was gonna hope for Sheamus, but yeah, you know, Bex, you got to get Bex on there. It is what it is. But overall, I think it was an okay segment. Good thing to open up the show, get people excited, talking. Our first match of the night, and it's a tag team match. We got Mello Don't Miz, basically Carmelo Hayes and The Miz versus Motor City Machine Guns. Winner gets that #1 contenders match next week for the tag team titles. Guys, I am so happy we're finally getting a little bit more Mello on TV. See, one of my big problems with Triple H is this guy just keeps reusing the same stars. Like, after John Cena's done, after Roman's done, after CM Punk's done, after Seth is done, WWE's cooked. Because this guy, Paul Levesque, he doesn't know how to build stars. He just keeps reusing the same guys. And when it comes time to like build someone up like Mello is the future. Mello is a future star and a future world champion if you build him right. But this guy, Triple H, just keeps him in catering and only makes those nice, like, every once in a while appearances. Like, finally, like, now we got to see him, which was great. I'm so glad they picked up the win. I think they should be getting those titles off the Wyatt Six. But anyway, this match was good. We got, you know, a little back and forth between both. Motor City Machine Guns are always great to watch. I still remember watching them back in their TNA days and then the Indie and their times in the Indie. Their time in the Indies. It was just a great match overall. And I like the finish. It's a little build-up between the team of Mello and The Miz. Like, you had Mello about to pick up the win, but something happened where Miz is out and just comes in and takes the pin from Mello. And it was great. It's kind of building a little bit over the relationship. Like, hey, like, what's going on? Like, are we on the same page? It's a nice little change of pace. I'm curious to see, like, where this goes. And, you know, can't wait for that #1 contenders match next week. So I'm not going to go too much into this one. Piper Niven versus Charlotte Flair. The match was okay, I guess. Alexa Bliss couldn't be there. She wasn't medically cleared. I hope she gets better and we see her back soon. But yeah, Piper Niven wins. There was some interference from Chelsea Green. And yeah, Piper Niven wins. Honestly, it's just nice seeing Piper Niven get some wins on the shows. Yeah, every time I see her wrestle, she's taking some mad L's, which is pretty funny, but great to see her win, but not really going to get too much into this. I mean, it was okay. Finally, the champ is here. Well, he's not champion anymore, but he's champion in my heart. Guys, John Cena comes out to that roaring Dublin crowd, and it's just well-deserved. We have to honor and embrace our GOAT until the end. We're only a couple months from December, so anytime John Cena is on TV or making appearances, we got to enjoy it, guys, because the end is near, and he'll be running off to the sunset soon, so we just got to enjoy it. But John Cena comes out, addresses the crowd. Logan Paul comes out. We get a little promo back and forth. Logan Paul comes out saying, yeah, he deserves to be there. He's had 24 matches. He doesn't deserve the scrutiny or hate he gets. And yeah, and then John Cena starts cooking him. Oh boy, he starts cooking Logan Paul, saying like, okay, you've had 24 matches. That's cool. I've been wrestling. I've been in the business for about 24 years. 22, 24. Don't really remember, but long time. It mentioned Logan Paul's current trouble with the law, which is pretty funny. Mentions his ads, I guess, like how like, oh, let me see what I can get out of this company rather than what I can give to the company. And it's just pretty funny. And then we get the final standoff between them where John Cena hits him with the AA and he stands tall. Now, one thing I'm worried about, Triple H, don't get any ideas. Please do not have Logan Paul beat John Cena. Don't have John Cena put over Logan Paul. That is probably one of the worst things you can do on this retirement tour. You already fumbled the heel turn. Don't ruin the remaining of this farewell tour with having Logan Paul beat John Cena. Like, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I might just turn off WWE TV for a while, or maybe until after the farewell tour is over. But yeah, it was great seeing John Cena stand tall, embrace the crowd, and walk away one last time as he gives us one final presence in Dublin, Ireland. Next, we have the MFTs versus the Street Profits. Winner goes on to face Melo Del Miz. And yeah, it was a good match. Great showing from both tag teams. Yeah, great back and forth. We get some basically meddling from the rest of the MFTs, from Tongaloa, Tamatonga. I don't know, just too many Tongas. But yeah, they start interfering. Then Jimmy Uso, shout out to Jimmy. Congratulations, sir. Little baby Uso on the way. Sami Zayn coming, getting involved. A little back and forth going. Little involvement to just spice things up. But overall, Street Profits walk out with the win. And we got our number one contenders match set for next week. Let's go. Next, we have Aleister Black versus R-Truth. Aleister Black comes out, and as we're waiting for R-Truth, he is nowhere to be seen. But he pops up on the Jumbotron, and he lets the Dublin crowd know he's got some good news and bad news. The bad news is he won't be able to make it. And the reason why, in typical R-Truth comedic fashion, he bought plane tickets for Dublin, Georgia, not Dublin, Ireland. And it's pretty funny because I didn't know there was a place in Georgia called Dublin. That's pretty funny. I wonder if it's got a pretty strong Irish population. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, so he's not going to pull up. He's not going to show up. So he's got his friend who will take his place. And his friend is Damian Priest. So we're still going on with this Damian Priest and Aleister Black feud, I guess. We get, them just tearing each other apart. Security coming in, trying to break them apart. And yeah, there's not really much to say. Like, I thought we were going to pivot from this feud, but I guess we're still going on with the same predictable writing. All right, so yeah, we'll move on. Next, we have Drew McIntyre. To my surprise, comes out to address that Dublin crowd. The crowd wants to know, and I want to know, what's Cody's status after I think it was 2 weeks ago where Drew basically took him out. Yeah, so Drew comes in, insults Cody. Basically, yeah, saying, it just confirms, like, there's no update yet. We're probably not going to know for a bit, but, he comes in, insults Cody, and he's calling him out. But then, out of nowhere, a Wild Viper appears, and he hits the RKO. And that ends the promo. That's basically it. I mean, it's nice that the Dublin crowd got to see Randy Orton hit an RKO. Drew McIntyre cut a promo, but that's all I can say. And here we are, the main event. Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton versus Nia Jax and Becky Lynch. It was a good match. Not really much to say. Both teams were great in the beginning, but then ultimately you started to see where things were going to go. Becky eventually leaving Nia, basically abandoning her because things just got too hard for her, which is pretty funny. And Nia was left to get taken down by Jade and Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany and Jade pick up the win. They're staring each other in the ring, and we know that this feud is far from over. So, yeah, we're getting another match. Looking forward to it. Right before SmackDown can go off air, John Cena is walking out of the arena, ready to leave, as Nick Aldis comes up to him and mentions Brock Lesnar. And before a second can go by, Logan Paul comes out, sucker punches John Cena. And as John Cena is laid out, Logan tells him he'll see him at Clash in Paris. And that thing is pretty funny because they had to re-record that just because the first time they aired it, it looked like Logan barely touched John, which was pretty funny. So I'm glad the second take made it look a bit better. But yeah, that first take was pretty bad. It looks super fake. But hey, accidents happen. Anyway, guys, we got to keep putting pressure on Triple H and the writers to make things better. Because if they're going to charge us an arm and a leg to watch this product and, we still want to watch it, we at least deserve to have, like, actual good content, actual good storylines, actual good booking and writing, So got to keep putting this pressure, got to keep telling them what we want and what we think is best with the product. Because if it's not for us, these guys are just going to keep doing what they want and hoping that we follow blindly to what they put in our faces. Anyway, the SmackDown was good. It was good, I guess. It was okay. Okay to good, I guess. I could give it like a 6.5. 6.5 to 7 out of like 10 stars. So it was all right. Could be better, but we'll see what happens next week. Will I tune in next week? I don't know. We'll see. Gotta have something good announced to get me excited. But anyway, thanks, guys. Thank you for joining me on this SmackDown review and recap. And once again, thank you for joining me on this journey that we like to call here at the Wrestle Dream Project Pro Wrestling. I'll catch you guys later. Thank you. Bye.